Sound, a group of
From the beginner to the professional, from the novice to the master, from playing, experimenting with things to create a masterpiece. These are all the elements of art, and on this show, our art is sound. Hi, I'm L.V. Smith, host of the show Sounds Within. Now, this time of year, I really like to do a show that kind of touches on roots, mainly my roots, and all those basically of the African diaspora. I'm speaking of Kwanzaa, or it could be Black history, but you know what? Actually, Black history has been around ever since there were Black people, so we're year-round. But we're going to talk about a nice little cultural center that brings together all the arts and the music of motherland. I'm speaking of the group Alkebulan.
It's the Alkebulan Cultural Center.
Alkebulan. Yes. Oh, I got to change the E. You got to help me. I'm learning. I got that Sharpton thing. Okay, and who are you?
My name is Nina Nimba.
Nina Nimba.
Yes.
Okay, I got a question for you. I want to know what makes Nina Nina.
My culture makes me Nina. Everything I do is to enlighten people of our culture, to bring us dignity and respect, and to be proud of ourselves. And it's very important that we have this. So by doing African dance, you not only get your culture, you get your exercise. So you're going to be healthy when you do this exercise, when you do this dance. So it's very important. It gives you self-worth, dignity, respect when you know where you come from. And we have so much rich history that is never told, and even in Black History Month, they don't cover it all.
Thank you.
So we need to do our African dance to remind us of who we are, to keep in shape, and to just be more vibrant and beautiful people that we already are.
Year-round?
Year-round.
Thank you. And you are?
I'm Jan Blunt.
Jan Blunt. What makes Jan Jan?
Well, a lot of what makes me Jan is what makes Nina Nina. We talk about the past. I also focus on the future. I'm very much an advocate of education. I am an educator and a fifth grade teacher, as a matter of fact. And it's important that we have the foundation of our culture, build up that pride, build up that knowledge of where we come from, and then we know where we can head. We can take all of the skills and all of the attributes that we have gathered from the past, and we can move forward in a positive way. So I would say education is my main focus as I teach culture.
Oh, wonderful, because I share your same profession, or I did at one time. And I learned that if you do not know your culture, others will define it.
That's
For you, absolutely.
Absolutely.
a tree without roots.
Hi, I know who you are, but you might as well tell the audience who you are.
My name is Artie Morris, native Pasadenan, indigenous California brown bear to the bone. I'm also a community and environmental and a civil rights activist, and I like to call myself SOTA, student of the arts. And this is part of the arts, and what I studied is music background. Studied here locally, Pasadena, PCC, jazz musician, drummer, and as my drumming has taken me around the world, I have found my community here within the African diaspora and the Pan-Africanism of what's going on here. And I've found some teachers within the drum and dance who have enlightened me. They've had much more experience, went to Africa, lived there, brought it back, and within each time I come with them, little bits and pieces come to me, and it's nothing that you can learn in a textbook.
Amen to that. And I hate to say this, you took away my question, but I'm coming back to you.
Okay. I'll be here.
And I'll make sure. Okay. Hi, and you are?
Hi, my name is Eugene Blunt Oluwembe.
Okay, Eugene. What makes Eugene Eugene?
My ancestors and my family. Community makes me Eugene.
Short to the point. Okay, let's move on to one of my favorite questions. I want you to dig back in your memory banks, far back as you could remember. Yes, all the way far back. And I want you to think of what was the very first sound you ever remember hearing.
My mother yelling at me. Stop doing that or whatever.
Oh, I guess that was the way to help resolve the problem.
At the time, yes.
Yes, Artie, we're back.
Okay.
I want you to dig back to your memory banks and think of what was the very first sound you ever remember hearing.
Could be a coyote?
Why would you say that?
I'm brought up in the meadows. We're right here in Pasadena, literally in the foothills of John Brown Mountain, and John Brown's headstone was my backyard. Coyotes are prevalent everywhere we were, so I'm going to think maybe it's a coyote.
And they're still there.
Oh, clearly, they're mountains. Ain't going nowhere. Like I said, this is brown bear territory. Brown bears, coyotes, mountain lions, you name it, we got it. Rattlesnakes.
Welcome to Southern California.
Indeed.
All right, Jan, I want you to dig back. You don't give me that look. You're fine. You're a great person. Come on, dig back to those roots. What was the very first sound you ever remember hearing?
When I think about it, I think it was classical music because my mother used to play music to lure me to sleep. And I'm really glad you front-loaded me with that question because I knew it was coming, really thought about it, and I think it was classical music.
TMI. What instrument did your mother play?
Piano. She played piano. And she also she at 85 still sings in choirs and whatnot. And I came up, I learned piano as well. But I was very active and moved into dance very rapidly and very early.
Instead of making the noise, you rather move to it.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, Nima.
Yes.
What was the very first sound you ever remember hearing?
Oh, let me see. What could that be? The very first sound was probably my mama.
Why would you say that?
She was probably telling me to be quiet because I made a lot of noise.
I mean, she has some intelligence in there saying you had to
right.
express. Yeah. Okay, now, I want you to think of what was the very first sound that motivated you to pursue what you do now?
You know, that is a great question. I went to an audition with a friend of mine who was auditioning for the first djembe that I heard since I've been here, and that was the Kumpo West African Dance Company, and they were holding auditions. I was into radio at the time and was not into dance. I liked drums. So anyway, I go with her to the audition. I hear this djembe singing and vibrating such a sound that I decided I had to try out. I ran outside in the street to find one of these rappers to tie around, which is what they were, and I came back in, and Ibrahim Kamara of the National Ballet of Senegal was the drummer. He played that drum, and he played that drum, and it hypnotized me. It turned my life around. All I wanted to do was pursue culture and learn the dances of Africa there. Because when I look at African people, I'm looking at myself and wondering, wow, they're related to me. They're related to me. And there's so many different cultures and so many different things that everybody does. You can spend your lifetime learning about your culture. So yeah, it was that drum, the ring of that drum.
Too little time to learn so much.
Yes.
Hi, Jan.
Hello.
Okay. What was the very first sound that motivated you to pursue what you do?
You know, it's interesting. It, once again, was the classical music. I do have a dance background, and I started off in ballet. I started at 6 or 7 years old in a community center in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I excelled. I did very, very well. Then I began to mature, and my body became less inclined to European standards and ballet. And I was still excelling, but I didn't have the look. And I did not discover African movement until I went away to school. I came back home, and the group that I had been dancing with had said, "Oh, we're an African dance company now." It switched up on me while I was gone. And that's when I started learning African dance, and it suited me. And I went on to pursue Catherine Dunham technique as well. And still, I always look back at the classical roots because that did guide me to where I am.
That's pretty much what people prefer, where all cultures focus first, but it's not necessarily so. Yeah, like I see a lot of cultures around the world trying to dig up more of our history than we are digging for ourselves.
Oh, definitely.
On low, yeah. And I fall guilty at times, as everybody does, and everything. There's always something else new to learn.
Absolutely.
Hi, Artie. Now, what was the very first sound that motivated you to pursue drumming?
Probably the drum itself, or just rhythm. Where it came from, wave of rhythm, or to be, the sounds of the trees blowing. It creates a certain rhythm to the ocean. Ocean comes in a wave of rhythms, but usually just rhythm itself and its various vast dimensions of how it gets to you in sound.
All right, Eugene. What was the first sound that motivated you to pursue the djembe?
I got in trouble a lot at school, and I was told to take out the trash can. So that's where I got introduced to this drum sound.
So you reversed the trash can to make your drum.
Right, the bottom. You had to tap the bottom to get everything out. Yes, sir.
After having such a wonderful beginning interview with you all, we need some music. What are we going to first hear? Bass.
Okay, lamban, it's the dance of the griot, also called jelly don.
It's a dance that throws off evil spirits and gets rid of frustrations and angers. You release yourself with this dance.
We need it now,
Yes.
these days.
Griot is a person who holds the history of his country,
It's the
his
oral-
village.
the oral
Orally.
historian.
Oral historian, yeah. By mouth, he says everything. It's unwritten.
Another name for the storyteller.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
So we have a lot of oral history.
Okay. We're going to have Alkebulan do Lama.
Hey, it's Amin L. And Thursday night is live with Jeff Hodge. Come on down and check him out.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I'm Robert Margoliff. Join me in watching Dan Nicewander on The Now Man Show.
Hey, that was Alkebulan doing Lamban. And where did that dance come from? Tell us about the music and culture of that.
Oh, Lamba comes from Guinea. That's where that dance comes from.
It's sad that a lot of people think that Africa is a country, but there's so many countries over there that people forget that Africa is a continent. And tell us about that term of your group. Tell us a little history and culture of that name of your
Alkebulan. That name means mother of mankind, and that's the name that the indigenous people gave themselves. However, when other people came, they renamed us Africa. It's also known as the Garden of Eden, Alkebulan.
That's where it began.
Right?
Okay. Do you collaborate with other groups?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about that.
Well, we have many different African dance companies here. So whenever anybody calls, I'm very happy to come and be a participant in their activities.
And who are some of your influences?
Oh, my influence will be Fanta Kaba of Ballet Africain. She was one of the lead dancers years before my time, but my director used to talk about her like she was the goddess of dance, Fanta Kaba. And so I met her. I got to meet her. She was still alive, but she came when the ballet came, and I got to meet her, exchanged gifts, and it was really an honor to meet her. Yes.
More like a coming.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what I was going to ask right now from you, who are some of your influences?
Well, early on, I was actually influenced by a young woman named Amania Payne. She is an African American who started a dance company in Chicago, Muntu Dance Theater, that is still operating today. They have produced many, many fine dancers, and she was an African American who grasped and embraced African culture and built an arts organization. And she was an early influence of mine. I wanted to talk about our collaboration. We both have dance classes.
That's right.
And Nina teaches at Alkebulan. I teach at Loma Alta Park, actually. Yes. But Nina and I go way back. And we were very happy to collaborate for this effort. But so we represent two different places, two different opportunities to take African dance classes.
And we also teach different styles also, and some of the same.
Yeah, there's same and different. So, and Nina is on Wednesdays at 7:30 at Alkebulan, and I'm on Thursdays at 7 o'clock at Loma Alta Park.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, do you mentor with others? Other dance groups or communities?
Well, actually, my son and daughter have their own company now.
You don't look that old.
Well, yeah, I'm about to be a grandmother, as a matter of
And a proud one at that.
Yes. But they have a group whose prerequisite is that they had to grow up in the culture. So everyone in their company is the son, daughter, nephew, or protege of someone who brought them up in the culture from when they were very young. And they're very dynamic. So yes, I would say that there's a lot of mentoring going on, and Nina works with some young people too. And I have young dancers at my school. At, I have a children's dance company that Eugene and I actually started.
Fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous. Well, let's get into some dance right now. What are you going to offer us?
We're going to do cuckoo.
Cuckoo. Tell us about cuckoo.
Cuckoo is a dance that celebrates a large catch of fish by the women of the village. And they bring it back and clean it and cut it and cook it. And everybody celebrates and is very happy because they know they can have a big, good feast of food.
Food is important.
Yes.
Okay, cuckoo with Alkebulan.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michelle Leclerc, and you're watching Deep Cuts Live. Stay tuned.
Well, anyways, there's so little time to have such great talent to share so much to our communities, mainly our own communities at that. But please come back. We're going to talk more about that. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, because we have to address this demon called time. It is a demon. Time is a demon. It's snatched away from us. So, there's your camera right there. What are the future Nemans need to listen for or watch for in life?
Oh, in life. I think everybody has to work hard, play hard, hold on to your culture. It's going to give you your strength to do whatever you have to do, because when you know who you are, you can do what you need to do and you know where to go. hold on to it, and you don't know where it will take you. It has taken me to do videos with Lionel Richie and Tina Marie, and 7 nights at the amphitheater with Lionel Richie live. So dance can take you way, way across the waters, everywhere. And it's an uplifting of the spirit. And what you get from it, I can't even explain it, but I want everybody to experience that feeling of excitement, of renewal of your spirit when you hear that drum. So everybody work hard, play hard, and stay focused on your culture. Thank you.
All right, Jan, I hate to see you part so soon, but you have a bunch of viewers who really love who you are. What words of wisdom do you have for them?
Learn. Learn. You've heard learn so that you can earn. Mm-hmm. Learn and make a decision to be the best that you can be. And I'm especially talking to young people who like to cut up and, and show out in class. You're not going to understand when you're young the value of what is being handed to you. Just believe that it is valuable. You'll discover the value someday. Learn.
That's very good.
Reminds me of KRS when he did that one song called You Must Learn.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Hey, Artie.
What's going on?
Thanks for bringing this fabulous group in.
My pleasure.
Now, what words of wisdom do you have for the future Arties?
Words of wisdom. I always keep questioning what's really going on, and you find your own truth. You know, the truth that somebody else is dictating to you may not necessarily be that truth. You know, you're gonna have to decipher through that. And I don't mean to say colloquial saying, but stay woke. It's like, yeah, keep your eyes open and stay woke. It's like, you know what? And that whole saying, fight the power. Yeah, there you go.
In these times, stay woke and fight the power.
Indeed.
Parting says sweet sorrow, but we want to make sure that your future audience out there who want to be future Eugenes of the djembe, what words of wisdom do you have for them?
Learn, read, study, work hard.
Work hard. I want to thank Alkebulan for coming in here, but how can we get in contact with you?
Okay, you can contact us at the Alkebulan Cultural Center at 1435 North Raymond Avenue, next to the public library. You could email me at ellismarlene1954@gmail.com.
Wonderful. So, what are you going to take the audience out with?
Yeah, Yankee, my crew.
Great. Tune in again, folks, for another edition Sounds Within. See you then.